Hello and welcome to Clovers Quilting. My name is Diahn. I have a new project that I am going to try to get done for Christmas. It is a table runner and 4 placemats. It is called Flipped. It's got 2 focus fabrics. We have a 1 and a 2, and then 2 accent fabrics. And I just thought that looked like a really fun pattern. It looks like you do the stitch and flip method. I think that's what it said. Stitch and flip method, and then you get, when you do these, you get the bonus to make this table runner. So I'm going to try it out. Ray's mom, I usually make her a table runner or placemats every couple years. And I've only made, 3 probably, so it's time. And she likes chickens and roosters. So she told Ray, hey, Dee can make me a table runner and some placemats. Well, she didn't say table runner. She wants placemats. And she's just going to get the bonus table runner out of chickens and roosters fabric. And I said, well, I planned on doing that. However, I don't have chicken and rooster fabric. I do somewhere. But I found this really cute. It just made me smile. Cow fabric. And, okay, I grew up in a city, not really, in a tiny, in town, not a country girl, in Montana, never lived on a farm. And I'm like, I'm not outdoorsy. I'm just kind of, I should have been in a city. And then I moved to Seattle for a while, and so I'm much more city girl than I am country girl and farm animals. Everything scares me. So, but I did find this really funny, cute fabric. I think it was Hobby Lobby. So this is what it looks like. I just ironed everything. So I found this, and it is called, what is it called? It is called, just says Brother Sister Design. But okay, now this cracked me up. Look at those guys. This one right here is like, what you looking at? Anyway, I thought they were super funny and super cute. And here is the salvage, so you can see what it says. Just Brother Sister Designs. There it is. So I thought that would be super cute in one of the focus fabrics. But it's directional, so I thought, oh boy, how am I going to make those half square triangles lay so the cow's not? But I'm going to try to get that worked out in my noggin. So there's that one. And the accent that goes with this is going to be a black grunge, because, brown's not my color. So I'm going to save it with some black. So we're going to have half square triangles out of these 2 together. And I thought, hey, that'll work, because brown is really tough for me. I'm not into tans, browns. I went out to Quilts and More with my cow fabric, my local quilt shop, and talk about struggle. I knew I wanted black. So I went right to the grunge, got some black, and I thought, okay, that's going to work. But then to find another fabric that went with it, whoo, people, that was tough on my brain. I just wanted black and white cow print, and then I thought, no, that's too much black, and it was just, then I tried to match some tans and tried to match some rusts, and I just didn't like it. So I found these ropes that were non-directional, and I really wanted a non-directional for the second one, because I thought keeping track of one half square triangle that you have to flip and flop, I didn't need 2. So I got this rope fabric, and I think it'll be okay with the cows. I don't know. Do you rope cows? I don't even know. So I thought that might work. And they're not going to even touch. They're just going to be accent, or the main focus fabrics. And then I got this blue grunge to tie in with it. And that ties in with the blue of this and the black. So can you see them all? So I'm hoping that works. Keep your fingers crossed for me. So this is a little bit outside my zone. So the ropes and the cattle, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But I thought I'll do okay, let's see how I'm thinking. Which one? Let's see which one is I think the focus fabric, let me just see. I think the cows are going to be where the dark green is. And then this light florally or leafy fabric will be the rope. And then that's bordered with the blue, and the cows are bordered with the black. So those focal fabrics won't touch. So at least in this, they will here. No, they won't. I'm totally fibbing you. One will be the green here, and one will be, yeah, the green will be the cows, and this leafy print will be the rope. So they're going to be, no, they don't touch. I didn't think so. I had this all worked out in my noggin, then I kind of dorked. So anyway, I hope to get this done for Christmas. And let's see what these ropes are. This is called Sun Up to Sundown by Hoffman, it looks like. I'm reading it upside down, so hopefully Sun Up to Sundown. So there's that. I thought that was kind of fun. And then just 2 grunges. And then I went to the back room where they have all their half-price fabrics, and I thought, you know, what can I put on the back? Because trying to find another fabric, I just thought, ugh. And I didn't have enough of the cow fabric, the cattle fabric, to put it on the back too. So I thought, I'm going to just do a whole different, just a different animal on the back. And it really is animals. I found this, and I thought it was so cute. It doesn't match at all, but it's just going to be on the back, and I'm going to do a black grunge for the binding. So it'll be reversible, 2 different holidays or seasons. So I found these cute little critters. So that will be maybe like a springy, summery side, and it'll just be solid on each of the placemats and solid on the back of the runner. And I thought, how cute is that? And of course it was half price, so I thought, I'm going to get that. It's just cute, and I think Judy will enjoy looking at all these sweet babies. And it'll have just a black grunge border that'll look good on both sides. So keep your fingers crossed. I've got these all ironed up. I'm going to go get them cut, and we'll see what we can get done on this table runner and placemats. See you in a minute. Okay, I went into my pattern, and this just shows me which fabric is which. So I just focus fabric, focus, accent, accent, and these bottom ones I'm not going to worry about. I just put, this is the cow, this is the ropes, this is the blue accent, and the black accent, just to kind of keep me straight as to which color on the pattern is which fabric, because I get kind of confused easy, and you get to looking at it and you're second guess yourself. So focus 1 and 2 get cut exactly the same. So I have the 2 stacked up together. So I'm going to go ahead and get that cut. We'll hope my rotary blade is going to, it's not going to be as bad as it was on the last one, because that was ugly. I am going to, I've got them stacked up right together, and I've got them lined up on this line on the mat. I'm going to run around to the other side and cut this strip. And let's see if I've got, yep, it looks like everything. Okay, I'll be back. I'm going to go to the other side, and I'll be right back. Okay. I'm going to try to cut this. I'm going to scoot this towards me a little bit, see if I have any arm strength to get this bad boy cut. And I'm going to just peek again that everything is, yep, all the selvages are hanging out. And we're going to get this cut. Did it work? Oh my goodness. Beautiful. So that's scrap. Now I'm going to come back around. Going to come back around and measure the width this needs to be. And I need one with the fabric, 2 with the fabric strips, 2 different sizes. So I'm going to get my square out. Do I have my big square? It's massive. Do I know what I'm doing? Well, let's do the little one first, because that'll actually fit on this ruler. Okay. Do I have this right? Sometimes you look at it, at least I do, and I think, am I seeing this correct? Okay. All right. I'm going to cut. Maybe if I don't keep going backwards, holy smokes. Cut 1 strip. There's that. And then the other one is longer or wider than my ruler. So I'm going to get this lined up again and use this. This one's massive, but I'm going to use this huge ruler to do my square corner. And what do I need? Okay. I can't give you all these measurements because I own the pattern because I bought it, but I do not own the copyright to it. So I'm going to line this bad boy up where I think I need to be. Okay, and then I'm going to, see, I'm backwards. I'm going to butt this ruler up, then I'm going to go back around and cut. I should have my Fitbit on so I can see how many miles I'm walking around and around this thing. Anywho, not very much. I'm just being silly. So here's our other width of fabric. And what do you know, it cut. So I'm going to do some subcutting and I will be back in a flash. Okay, I've got the two fabrics I need together for the same size, and I'm going to just cut the selvages off. I think I've got them all. I'm going to scoot this just a hair more. That's kind of a larger selvage on that one, and I don't really want that in my quilt. So I'm going to cut on this first line just to straighten everything up and get the selvage out of there. And now I'm going to cut the right size square. Maybe, if I can figure out what I'm doing here. So I've got that all lined up for the right size square. Now I'm going to just butt this ruler right up to it and pull this one away. I have got too much junk on here. Pull this one away, and we need 4 each. So there's one, actually there's 2 of each fabric. And then 2 more will be right here. Oh, hi, Poe. What are you doing? Are you coming over to see? All right, watch out. Now, come on. Go over here. Don't snip the open blade. I can't get my safety in order here. Okay, and here's the other one. Watch out, babe. You come down. Okay, here is the other square. So I have 2 each of each fabric here and 4 each. A little bit of a scrap. Now my other one is a rectangle that I need to cut. Let's scoot that out of the way. Get this lined up in the selvage out of there. I'll cut off this selvage. Try to get that lined up nice and straight. Well, doesn't look super straight, but maybe I did a little winger when I cut the last one. So get that out of there. And now we need this width by the same width as those squares. And we need 4 each. Okay. So let's just get this ruler out of the way. I'm kind of all thumbs today. What the heck? Get it back to my sizes here. Poe is running around back there making noise, a goofy little boy. Okay, there's one. Let me just make sure that looks right. Scoot that out of the way. Trim that size. And we need 1 more of those. Let's just put this in here to the right amount, right measurement. I'm going to butt this ruler right back up. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. And the instructions are in the way. And butt that right up. Scoot that out of the way and give this one a trim. We have another little scrap. So there's the 2 cuts I need out of the main fabric. So there we go. Some big squares and some smaller rectangles. And now I'm going to get the accent fabrics ready to roll, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got both of my accent fabrics laid out. I like to put the folds toward me, try to get them lined up pretty darn close, and put them on one of these lines on the mat so it's nice and straight. And I might have it oriented the correct way this time so I don't have to go around and around the board. Okay, I'm going to just cut off the selvage. Well, it's not the selvage. Selvage is on that end, but I'm just going to straighten these up. This one's a little bit wonky, so I'm going to straighten these bad boys up. Hopefully I got everything. Oh, look at that. Another bad cut. But there we go. And oh, there's another little catch here. What the heck? Okay. Let's just chuck those. And let's see what these need to be. The width of these. We need one pretty good width and another tiny width. Oh, and another tinier width for the runner. Okay, let's do the biggest one first. Let's see what we need. Oh, they're not cut the same. Well, look at that. Oh, no, they are. Oh, I freaked out for a minute. Okay, yes, they are exactly the same. Holy smokers. I thought so. I looked and then I looked again and I dorked out. Okay, the first one is a big old block. Okay. Big block. And I'm going to just butt that up, pull it away, and give it a little trim. Hopefully that, oh my goodness. I gotta grow muscle. Okay, there's the first main cut. The second cut and the third cut are much, much smaller. So yeah, I'm just gonna still use this big boy, even though I don't really have to. But then we have this size. And I'm going to use my, oh, that's heavy, my weight, because I just am not strong enough to hold this ruler down. At the end, it always wants to wiggle. So I think it's time for a new blade, guys. I'm having a struggle here. There's my medium width. Oh, Poe's playing with the cord. Poe, no, no. No, no, Poe. And then I have one skinnier strip for the runner. So that'll be all the cutting I need to do until I get to the background. Let's just make sure I've got that right. Yep. Okay. Then we got the skinny guy. Hey, I might have got that. Yay! Success! So we have the wide piece and two littler pieces and the rectangles and the squares of the main fabric. So I'll be right back once we get ready to roll. I'm back. I forgot to subcut my little guys. So I have some rectangles and some squares, and I needed one more of these of each color. So it looks like the next thing we're doing is doing a half square triangle. Let me just make sure I have the right accents together. I need a cow, or the right fabric with the cow. What am I doing? What am I doing? The cow and the black. Somehow this looks funny. Well, let me study up on this a little bit and I will be back in a flash. Okay, I freaked out a minute. So first we put the accent pieces together. It looks like we have the big accent piece. Hey, Poe. Oh, he's playing with the tape measure. He's a little goofy boy. So we have, let's get this out of the way. We have an accent fabric and the other accent fabric. We're going to, the big squares, we're going to put those right sides together. And draw a line corner to corner. And then we're going to make half square triangles. So we're going to sew a 1/4 inch on either half of that line. I'm going to go get a big ruler and we'll be set. Okay, I have my 2 fabrics lined up together, right directly on top of each other. Let's see if I can get that to look pretty good. And I'm going to take my long ruler and go corner to corner. Whew, and I'm not quite going to make it. I'm just going to eyeball that bad boy. I just use a pencil because this is going to be the line we cut on. So it's, I don't think it's that particular, just so you can see it to make the, to do the sewing on it. And there are several different methods to do this. There is also a little like 1/2 inch ruler that's just a tiny guy, and you put that right in the middle. Pretend this is a 1/2 inch. You put that right on that, the 1/4 inch line, right from corner to corner, and you draw on each side, and then you sew directly on the line, which is, you're not having to mind your 1/4 inch, you're just sewing on the line. So that's kind of cool too. So whichever method you like to do half square triangles will be beautiful. I'm going to do one just so we can take a peek at it and see what it looks like. I still got Grinch fabric over here because, you know, I'm messy. And let's just make sure I got everything set up right. I'm going to take off my start and stop, or my cutting. Let's scooch you up a little bit so you can see a little better. You don't need to see me, ick. And I'm going to put my needle down. I might pop a couple pins in here because this is a pretty big square. I just don't want it wiggling around on me. And I'm just going to make sure these points are kind of where they're supposed to be. And just pop the pins out here. So, oh, you can't even see. I'm just putting the pins over a 1/4 inch away, just so you don't have to worry about the pins in your way. So I'm going to get it kind of close down here by the point, and I'm going to do it on, I probably don't need to do it on both sides because we're going to have another seam, but I'm just going to pop those pins in there and call it good. So this is what it looks like. I just have pins going on each side a little further than a 1/4 inch away. Now, let me get you guys a little bit closer without me in the picture. Ick. So I've got my machine started sewing, needle in the down position. I am going to get over here and put my foot. I have it measured so I have a scant 1/4 inch from the side of my foot. So I just run the side of my foot right along that pencil line, and we are going to be doing pretty good. And I just whizzed right by that pin. It's far enough away. Now let me just make sure those don't wiggle. And then I'm just going to cut my thread and spin around. You don't even have to cut your thread. You can just spin around. And you know what? I'm going to try it without a leader. I just don't want my point to be sucked down into the machine. Hey, slow and steady. It's gonna work. So we're just gonna whiz down this side. And half square triangles are like the bread and butter of quilting. You can do so many things with them. Any size, it's just kind of fun. And there's several methods on how to do them. So it's a neat staple to know in your sewing. Let's get that out of there. And get off the tip there so it goes straight off without swooping over. Okay, so I'm going to get these pins out of here. And this is what it looks like. And I usually sew with like a medium gray thread. It usually blends with most stuff unless I'm doing 2 blacks together, then I do black. And because if you pull it and it has black on both sides, you can see that little dot, 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 dot of the gray or the white. And that's just what I do. And then now I've sewn on each side of that line, and then we're just gonna trim between it. And I'm just gonna use a scissor. You can feel free to use your rotary cutter. I'm just gonna use a scissor, and my scissor is not, it's like that point has a divot or something in it. It doesn't want to cut very well at the point, so we won't use the point. And don't worry if you don't get this exactly on that line. It's just in the seam allowance. So we are good. And there we have 2 half square triangles. And I'm going to just finger press it to the dark. So I just draw my finger down that, and it is biased, so you just don't want to stretch the bejesus out of it. You just want to kind of get it into place because it will stretch. I will hit it with an iron, and that'll kind of get it back to shape. And these bias edges are stretchy. We are going to trim this block down to the correct size, so it will be all good in the end. I'm just going to get this finger pressed. So that's what we look like. And if this block was exactly the right size, I would just trim these little dog ears off. Just take my scissor and clip those 2 off, and we would be good. So I'm going to do the other half square triangle, get that all finger pressed, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have all the half square triangles ironed up nice and straight. Now we're going to trim this half square triangle up to the desired, or the size it says in the pattern. So what I do is I just put on this diagonal line, I put that diagonal line on the seam, and I just have a smidge hanging out over the side, just so I can get this perfect. So put that diagonal seam on there. Well, there we go, right on the stitch line. It'll be right where your 2 fabrics meet. And I just have a smidgen to trim off. I'm gonna put my weight on there and just trim off this side and this side. And that takes care of the little dog ear too. That goes in the garbage. Now we just lift that and spin the block 180 degrees. So now we have 2 straight sides, 2 perfect sides on these 2, and we'll put it where it's supposed to be, line it up to the exact measurement, get that little corner right on the corner, that diagonal line looking perfect, and it's on the right line here, it's on the right line here, and I have just a smidge to go on each side, and we should be just perfect with the size we need. Just another teeny little bit. So if your 1/4 inch isn't perfect, that's okay. You have a little bit of wiggle room to trim up. Or if you wanted to cut the big blocks just a hair bigger, you would have a little more room to square up. So there we go. We have the perfect half square triangle to the right size. I am not the best at trimming up. It's using a regular square ruler is really hard for me. I like to use the clearly perfect slotted trimmer, but I don't have one that'll cut this big a square. And you leave it folded and you cut 2 sides and you're done. It is just slick. I showed that in another video, and it's just a really fun method. So I have 3 more to trim up, and I will be back. Okay, I have all the half square triangles squared up, and now I'm trying to figure out how to get this directional fabric to work. It says to draw a line from corner to corner on both of the focus fabrics. Corner to corner, and then draw a line a 1/2 inch away, so we'll get this bonus half square triangle. Now I'm trying to double check how I need to orient this. It shows here to put it'll be my blue accent on top and my black on the bottom, and then I have to have this half square triangle here. So if I draw the lines that way and fold it back, my cows are sideways. So I don't think that's right. So let me try it. Let me just turn it a smidge. And nope, they're on their heads. So I think I need to do it this way. Okay, let's just see if I draw the line and sew corner to corner and then flip that back. Ah, my cows are looking the right way. That's how I have to do it. I have to draw it. Let's see, the cows will be, their tops of their heads will be facing left. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that line. And I probably shouldn't be doing it right on the fabric, but I'm doing it anyway. So get that corner to corner, and I put away my pencil. Is that a pencil? Yep. And just let me just get a little more organized here. Whoop, that didn't go very cornerish. Corner to corner, and then go over a 1/2 inch. So there's my line. I'm going to flip that around just to make it a little bit easier. And then I'm going to go a 1/2 inch from that corner to corner line. Do I have a 1/2 inch? There I go. And then I'm going to just draw this line here. Can I see it? It's pretty light. I think it'll be all right. So my cow heads have to be facing left. I'm going to stick this in that corner. And when I sew on that line, it'll come down like that, and there they'll be. So the orientation is correct. I'm going to grab a couple of pins and just get this lined up as best I can in this corner. I'm going to pop a couple of pins in there. I've seen a couple of people glue based right on these corners, and that looks slick as heck to me. Then you don't have to worry about those corners moving, and it'll be in the seam allowance, and that water-based glue will just wash right out when you wash it. So I haven't tried that yet, but that's kind of a cool technique, and your corners don't do a winger. So that looks kind of cool. So I'm going to sew on that line, not the 1/4 inch away. I'm going to sew on that corner to corner line and on that line that's a 1/4 inch away, or excuse me, a 1/2 inch away. So let me get this stuff out of the way, and let's get set up for success here. Maybe. I'm going to scoot this over, get my machine sewing, needle down, and we're going to sew right on that line. Just going to make sure that that corner's nice and steady. And if I get my machine to start sewing, it doesn't want to move. I've got it floored too. What is going on? Oh well. We're just gonna let it do its thing. Okay, here we go. Holy smokes. It's wanting to just do something slow, slow, slow. I will be back when I get these stitches done. Okay, my machine was working a little bit better. So I'm going to pull these pins. I have both of those seams sewn right on the line corner to corner, and then on the line a 1/2 inch over. And we're going to just cut. Well, before I cut, I'm going to look one more time to make sure my cows are going the right way. That's in the corner, and they come down like this. And if you've sewn it correctly, it should just replace this corner, and it looks pretty darn good. Let's see, when you flip it down, it should just replace this corner, and it all matches pretty darn good. So I'm going to just cut between, let's scoot this down a little bit. I'm going to just cut between the two lines. And again, you can use your scissor, you can use your rotary cutter. And if you're not exactly in the middle, it is not that big a deal because that's just in your seam allowance. So we're gonna flip this down, and we have the little cow block over here with the 2 accents. And then we have this bonus 1/2 square triangle. So that's pretty dang fun. I'm going to get the rest done, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my big half square triangle, and I've got my two smaller focus fabrics. They are, let me get this one. I think the lines are drawn on there a little bit better. My two focus fabrics, and they are drawn from corner to corner and then a 1/2 inch over towards the corner. So be sure you have that oriented correctly. The corner to corner should be right there, and then the other line that's drawn a 1/2 inch away should be towards the corner, because you're going to cut that piece off on both of them, so they'll be just opposite. So I've got, and the rope, yay, it's not directional, so that works out. And then the cows will be down like that, and they're facing the right way. So I just put everything together, and I've pinned them, and I'm going to just do a stitch right on that drawn line. Got my leader on, and I'm just gonna, my machine's doing what it's supposed to do. It kind of went whack-a-doodle. So we're gonna get this sewn. Can you see okay? Let's just put that down a little bit, and maybe we can zoom in a little. I'll just move the stand. Sorry for the jiggling. We'll just do that. And I'm just going to spin this around and lift my presser foot, the needle down. Oh boy, what am I doing? Lift the presser foot, and the needle down was kind of in my way, so I'm going to just put the needle down now, and we're not in the right spot. I'm going to just see where we're at. Okay, we're good. And just sew on each of those lines. I'm going to get rid of this leader and cut that, and I'm going to just whip this around and sew on this other one. I'm going to try it without a leader. Let's see if, keep your fingers crossed that my point doesn't get sucked down there. Okay, looks like it's going to be all right. So just sew on those drawn lines. You can pin if you want, you don't have to. And get right to that corner. And I'm just going to cut the thread. Oh, my cat's up on, crashing down with all my fabric. That's okay. He's a busy little boy today. And then just sew right on that line. And then we'll cut these all apart. Having a little trouble today. I just feel so jittery today. So I did a boo-boo. As I'm sewing this, I'm like, something looks funny, because why is this seam ending right in the middle of this block? Didn't I tell you that the corner to corner needs to be right there, but the other 1/2 inch away needs to go towards the corner? Guess what? Time to rip. Oh boy. So anyway, that's just dumb sometimes. There's my one that is correct. Here's my rope that is correct, but my cow's not. So I'm going to rip that out, put it the right way, and I'll be back. I do have to say that these Clover seam rippers are pretty darn sweet. I just flipped it over to the dark side so I could see my fabric, or see my thread on the dark fabric, and it is the little seam ripper part is thin enough to get under those little stitches, and I think it's slick. So I do quite a bit of ripping because, you know, it's just what I do. And Ray says that I should call my channel Dee's Sew and Rip. Yeah. So anyway, he thinks he's pretty funny, but it is pretty funny because I sew and then I rip. It's kind of what I do. So I just go through and I do a few stitches throughout, and then I just go from the front and pull it apart and get those. So I will be back once I get it sewn correctly and cut. Okay guys, I'm back to do this side unit here. And I had this directional fabric cut this way. Well, the cows would be on their heads, or on the sides of their heads. So I went back in and I cut it long ways. I had a little extra, thank goodness. So this is going to be how it's oriented. And we're going to put this face down and draw a line this way. And then it's going to be another flip, stitch and flip to give you a straight piece. So that's how that looks. And you do the accent, second accent with the first. Yeah, focus 1, second accent, focus 2, first accent. And it's going to be the same way. So I'm going to get that done corner to corner, and I will be back. This is challenging my directional brain today. So keep your fingers crossed that this is the right way. I'll see you in a few. Okay, I've got both pieces here. Here's the rope with accent 2. Here's the cows with accent 1 and accent 2. So this stripe will go like this. Kind of fun. And I think it's going to work. I just finger pressed it. Now I'm going to just trim this second half square triangle, or cut this half square triangle off. So this piece, finger pressed, will sit there. And then this is just an extra, which we have a cow tongue. It's kind of weird, but you know, it might work for something. So that's just going in the scrap. And the same thing with this one. I finger pressed it, and I'm just going to cut in between here just for that bonus half square triangle. And this sets right back down here. And then we have a bonus half square triangle that looks like this. That could be kind of fun. So I will get those all pressed up and over to the side. That's just for extra. And then we put these squares on the corner. We do another corner to corner along this way. I don't know if you can see. Corner to corner, and then this will flip like this. So we'll have this stripe that just continues. So there we go. We have one little section left to do on these two strips, side strips, at a corner stitch and flip method. And then we put the 3 pieces together, and it's all done, at least for the placemat. We'll get to the runner here in a minute. So I'm going to get all these marked, put on there, stitched, pressed, flipped, and cut off, and we will be back to get this whole bad boy assembled. Hi guys, I am going to get this table runner put together today. We had 8 half square triangles, 4 of each, and the pattern said to do 3 sets. Well, I didn't want these last 2 just hanging out, so I did all 4. I did all 8 together. I had to change this to, this focus fabric should have been in this position, but they would have been on their heads. So I just changed it to the other position. I think it'll be all right. And then the pattern calls for a thin accent strip to go. My dark black will go on where the light blue is, or where the medium blue is, on that side. And then it said it called for the other accent fabric to go with accent fabric 1 to go with accent fabric 2. So the blue would be on this side. Well, that's a pretty skinny runner to me. So it's just, 8 inches or 8.5 inches, and then 2.5 inch pieces, I believe. So I thought that was kind of skinny. So what I did is I think I'm going to still do the same light with the dark and dark with the light, but I'm going to add, I think this is a 3-inch strip that I put on. So it'll be just about 6 inches wider. It's 16 inches longer, and it'll be about 6 inches wider. So I've got a mess here, but that's what I think I'm gonna do. So it'll be a little bit bigger, a little bit longer, and a little bit wider. So I'll be back when I get a few things finished up so I can show you what this looks like. See you in a minute. I did finish this flipped table runner and 4 placemats. I'm getting them ready for Judy for Christmas, for Ray's mom, and they turned out pretty fun. It is a little wacky with the animals, and then this one, they're connected here. So this Highland cow has a weird ear, but it's okay. It's going to be fine. It was fun. I just did a little straight line quilting just along here on both sides, and then I did one inside here. And like I've said before, I'm not the best quilter in the world. And I did do all 8 pieces, or all 8 of these half square triangles. The pattern only called for 6, and I thought, well, I'm just going to make it the full amount. And then I added these 2 3.5-inch pieces, and it just gave it a little more substance. I also did the border a little different, or the binding. I wanted the black on the blue, and then I just brought it around. I haven't ironed it yet, so it's not looking real flat. Brought it around, and then I wasn't trying to get it to match, so I just did the blue here, so the blue was on the black, and the black was on the blue. So it was kind of fun. So this is what the whole thing looks like. It's pretty darn cute. Here's the placemats. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. The back, I wanted something totally different, so I did this springy or cute animals. I think Ray's mom will think they're cute. So I did this fun back, and it's reversible. The only thing I didn't think about was when I did the table runner, this blue doesn't really match this, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So there it is, and they were pretty darn fun. And this was the pattern. They did a really cool, to make those, the extra half square triangles, they did a really cool technique. So check it out, Flipped by Canuck Quilter Designs. So it was really fun. And there they are. Thank you guys for coming along on this placemat table runner journey with me today. It was a really fun pattern, and I thought these cows just cracked me up with that, it's upside down, with the light blue background. I thought they were really fun, and they're kind of giving you the side eye, and I just thought it was really cute. I struggled finding what to go with it, so I picked a medium blue to kind of help a little bit to pull some of this blue out, and then I just picked this rope fabric. It's got all different kinds of browns, and I'm hoping it's going to work out okay. So Judy will love it, I'm sure, because she loves everything. She's super, super happy to receive anything. And she told Ray she wanted placemats, new placemats with chickens on it this year. Well, I said she's going to get cows. So this is the back and my little straight line quilting. And you can see the quilting a little bit here. And it was fun. Thank you guys. Please subscribe, like, share with a friend. Drop me a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You guys have a great day. Stay safe, stay happy, and stay creative. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.